Hey guys, so this is Books and Things. I'm Sophie. I'm just going to do a quick video, which is going to be my Booktubeathon TBR list. But before I get onto that, I want to do a couple of quick announcements. So, first thing is that I'm not going to be around much over the summer, which means I'm going to try and keep up to date with some videos, but it means that some of them will be in this format where it's recorded on my phone and then immediately uploaded. So there won't be any editing. Which means they'll probably be a lot shorter and there'll be more pauses and more umming and ahhing because I try and edit most of that out when I edit them. And the second thing is that I don't know, that because I'm away a lot, the videos might be a little bit more oddly spaced or about odd things or set in different places, but that's just because I'm not going to be around much. So the Booktubeathon is basically like a marathon of reading, and it's hosted by created by Ariel Bissett. This is its second year, and I will link both her YouTube and the Booktubeathon YouTube in the doobly-doo. And for the Booktubeathon, there are all these challenges. There are reading challenges and there are video challenges. I'm going to try and do all of them. But obviously with me not being around much, that might not happen. I might have to pre-record some of the video challenges and then just upload them on the day of the challenge, because I just won't have time to edit or record things really. But yeah, so these are the books that I'm going to try and read to get through all 7 of the reading challenges. So the first reading challenge that there is to read a book with pictures. And for this, I'm going to read Saga Volumes 1, 2 and 3. That's a little bit of overkill, but they are working for another challenge as well. And so that's a comic book series. I think there's only 3 out at the minute, but I think there's a 4th and possibly even a 5th volume of this comic book coming out. And they're about aliens 2 different aliens who come from different planets who aren't really supposed to be together, and they fall in love and have a kid, I think. I could be very wrong. They're not actually mine, they're my dad's, but I have been spying on them for ages because they look really cool and I really want to read them. And they also tick off another challenge, which is to read a book in a genre I haven't read much of this year. And I have read hardly any comic or manga this year. I read the Scott Pilgrim book that I read back in January, and then I've read a couple Buffy comics, but I'm not really counting them because they're not on my reading list and they're very small, and to me they still feel very much like reading fan fiction, even though they're by the person who created the show. But yeah, so this is the second comic book I've read all year, so that'll be interesting, and I really hope that I really enjoy them because loads of people have been saying how good they are. The third challenge is to start and finish a series within the Booktubeathon, and I'm going to try and do that with the Under the Never Sky trilogy, which I just got, and try and start and finish that within 7 days. That's going to be so difficult. The 4th challenge is to read a book that someone recommended to you, or chose for you, and the book that I'm going to be reading for that is called The Handmaid's Tale. My mum has basically been telling me that I've got to read this book for 4 or 5 months now, and I keep telling her that I'll get round to it, and I keep not getting round to it because my TBR pile is huge. So instead, I now have a reason to read it because I have to read something that someone else has picked out for me. And it also covers the challenge of reading something that has red on the cover, because the version of The Handmaid's Tale that we have has got this woman in a red dress on it. And then there's the last 2 challenges. The 6th challenge is to read a book to movie adaptation. So read the book and then watch the film. And I was really having a stress about this because most of the things that are being turned into films this year I've already read, specifically so that I wouldn't have to read them right before they came out. So I was like, shit, what am I going to read? Because I don't really want to reread anything because I've got so much to read. I don't want to spend time rereading. And then it occurred to me that I have never seen the film of, nor read the book of, The Ruby in the Smoke, which is atrocious because I really like Philip Pullman and I have all of the books twice, so I really should read them. So I'm going to read The Ruby in the Smoke and then watch the film starring Billie Piper. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that film because Billie Piper, but we'll see how it goes. And then the 7th challenge will be to read 7 books, which by doing that I will have, because all 3 volumes of Saga is 3 books, and then Under the Never Sky is another 3 books, and then The Handmaid's Tale, and then The Ruby in the Smoke is 8 books. 8 books. So if I read all of those in 7 days, I will have done really, really well. There are also like some video challenges, like to put books in a rainbow order, or to redraw a cover for a book, or to like write a short story with book title words or something. And I'm going to try and do them, but I might have to pre-record them and then set them up to kind of publish on the days when they're due. And then there's like challenges of the day and Twitter sprints, and I'm going to try and keep up with all of it, and I will be more active on Twitter for that week, which is going to be weird because I don't use Twitter very often. Like, I am there, I do look at my notifications, I just don't get many notifications on Twitter because I'm hardly ever there. But so like I'll be tweeting from the Nameless Teen Twitter handle, rather than my Sophie Music one, because the Nameless Teen one is the one more likely to be talking about books. And I'll probably be on Tumblr about it as well sometimes, and I will definitely be uploading some videos on how I'm getting on. I'd love for you guys to do the Booktubeathon as well, although I know that it's really short notice because it's only like 2 days before. The last thing that I wanted to say, which doesn't affect you guys in any way at all, is, oh, it's not the last thing, I have another thing, but this is that I finished college today for the year, so I'm free. I can finally start my summer, which is great, because I feel like I've been trapped for the past 5 weeks going to school for very little reason at all. But I now have 7 weeks off, which is really lovely, and then I have to go back, and I'm not happy about that at all. But the minute I'm concentrating on the fact that I have 7 weeks of holiday, and it's going to be great. But the last thing is just a very quick reminder that I am still doing a giveaway for 2 posters and a lanyard from the Tifios movie. So all you have to do is go and watch the Tifios review and comment on that video and subscribe to this channel, or follow me on Tumblr.